Welcome to Heal Talk Tuesdays with Liza, where transformation begins as we evoke, embrace, and evolve. Greetings, and welcome to Heal Talk Tuesdays. This is Liza. It's so good to be here with you, isn't it? Today I have a special guest, and I wanted to say sometimes life takes a whole different turn, that when you make a decision and you are so precise and clear about it, everything comes together. Talk about manifestation and manifesting things in life. So today my guest is Irma Villegas.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. And Irma is a friend, a colleague, we've known each other for
About 8 years.
8-9 years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've known each other before Kiwanis too.
Yes.
Through community chamber and Kiwanis. So we're going to have to evolve and break through what our talk is going to be. It's going to be our language of acceptance, language of communication, language of our gift. Today is about Heal Talk with Irma, who I would like to introduce you in a short little way. By trade, you're a real estate agent, okay? Broker?
Just real estate agent.
Just a real estate, not just a real estate
not
agent.
Just a real estate agent, but yes.
She's a real estate agent, but bigger than that, Irma is a woman, an influencer, mom, wife, and the president of the Glendale Kiwanis Club. Mm-hmm. So those are the titles, but we're not here about titles today. We're going to talk about Heal Talk and what you have healed, mm-hmm. where you are, and how you are of service to help others, mm-hmm. because that's what Real Talk is all about. So are we game?
Yes.
We were game. Okay. So thank you for being here. Today is going to be revolutionary, mastery, and lovely. We are approaching the holidays, mm-hmm. and it is time of giving. It is time of receiving. And so I want to first and foremost to say thank you so much for being part of Real Talk TV with Liza, because I have so much respect for who you are and what you accomplish and the way you accomplish. So right before we started, we were talking about the power that we have as women and how we are support system for one another, and how we can help and be of service to other women. Mm-hmm. Not only the work that I do as a clinical hypnotherapist, but you as a leader, because I look at you as a leader and of service. So the platform is yours for you to share a little bit about yourself and who you are and how you've come to be where you are today.
Well, that's a big question. Where do I start? Well, I'll start with, what really has shaped my my service, my gift of service. It really started a long time ago, but I didn't have the words to put what it was. But when I first joined the Kiwanis Club and I became really active in the community, I started realizing how many pieces of the puzzle they're all along. I've always been like this. I've been, of service to my family, always looking for something better for my family. And then when I got married, it just became more of that. It's really utilizing all the tools that we have around us to support and to grow. And so for me, being a service is just secondhand. It's one of the highest value. I'll tell you, when I don't know why I'm called to share this with you, but right in the middle of the pandemic, I think it was 2021. Uh-huh. I sat down with my kids and my husband, and we listened to a short meditation, and And then the rules of the meditation were to once they listened to the rules to stop, really come together with a blank piece of paper, write the date down, and write the numbers 1 through 10. And
Okay.
in this meditation, the directions were just write down the 10 things that bring you joy. And we were in the middle of the pandemic. My kids had Zoom. We left the house just to walk our dog. We saw no one. We talked to only our family. So it was very
Isolated.
very isolated is the right word. And so we sat down and we wrote these things of the 10 things that brought us joy. We realized that not only was it the things that brought us joy, but it was really just a translation to what our values were. And so we then shared each other's 10 things. And I think 4 out of 5 of them, we were in common. Like, we shared the same values. And the one that really stood out was being of service. My husband wrote it, my kids wrote it, and it's just I'm so grateful to be able to do this. And I've always taken my kids to be of service, but for them to see the value in it, and for them to mark it as one of their joys is to help others. That really, really was impressive for me,
Wonderful, because I believe acts of service is acts of kindness, and that's one of the languages of love, right? So there is the auditory, there is the kinesthetic, there is acts of service, there is also gifting, and touch. Well, that's the kinesthetic,
Yeah.
and it's time.
Yes,
Time. So, and I think that's why I truly created the 3E, is giving women the me time, so we come together to be together. And it is like an act of service to one another, because even this healing circle, what we do face to face, it's honoring the woman across from us and saying, I understand what you have gone through because I feel it. And which leads me to, who has been a mentor or someone who has given you direction as a woman, as someone that you looked up or coached you or mentored you?
Growing up, I knew enough to really look for mentors. And so it started at a very young age. I started looking outside of my home because sometimes I didn't get everything inside the home. And so I was looking for mentors everywhere. As far as a woman mentor, I've had my mom, my grandma have been great mentors to me. My grandma had incredible faith. She really gave me that structure of faith. There is something higher, and there is someone greater that is really watching out for us. And then my mom, just the mechanics of just being a mom, but still being able to be nurturing and survive everything that she has gone through. And then my parents got a divorce when I was a junior in high school. It's just helping her through that. Also gave me the strength to really be there for me. And so it's been a lot of people, but then outside of that, I definitely have gravitated to like the Oprahs. I saw them as mentors. I grabbed little bits and pieces of everyone's advice and read a lot of books. I've read a lot of really great books that have shaped my decisions.
Name
in my
3
life.
of the books that have made an impact in your life.
Conversations with God.
Of course, with Neil Donald Walsh.
Inyala, In the Meantime.
In the Meantime.
Yes, was great, especially for relationships.
Yes.
And then, believe it or not, I Think and Grow Rich is still my go-to.
Napoleon Hill.
Yeah, because it seemed all about business, but it really is about the personal energy that you have and that you give things. So it's very much personal as well.
It is a personal development, not only energetically, personal development of how we look at life, and also being of service, and the energy of money.
Mm-hmm.
right? I remember there was times that when business was very tough and I would hold my salary
Mm-hmm.
and not pay myself. And someone told me, cash your check. Cash your own check. So when we talk about personal development, I know you're so much into that. And there are people who are saying, why do we need therapy? Why do we need self-development? And because there's a lot who are not into this. Why do you believe we all need to grow and learn from others as a self-development? I mean, there's courses. We pay to learn something.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't we all supposed to know this?
Yeah, well, and did you have a manual when you grew up? When you grew up, did your mom have a manual? Right? And so we don't come out of the womb with manuals or with what we should do and we shouldn't do. And in a way, it's a good thing because it allows us the freedom to really explore who we want to be. So we're given that free will. And personal development, but anything in personal development, which I think should be taught in school,
Yes.
should really just remind you of who you are, who you naturally are. And so all these things that I've learned through everything that I've done in my personal development journey and continue to do, it's just a reminder of who I am. A reminder that it's okay to be powerful, that it's okay to speak my mind, that it's okay to be this leader that is already in me. So all I had to do was nurture it, find the language, and put it into play. And so I will continue to do it because I want to learn and evolve as much as I can. And I think that really is, when you talk about fulfillment, I find that fulfilling. I find that the more I learn about myself, the more I grow within myself, the better I will be at being a mom, a community leader, a real estate agent. And it really just trickles into everything that I do. So the better I am, the better I will be to others and to myself.
Love that. I love that. And that's one of the reasons when I talk about Heal Talk Tuesday or tapping into our subconscious, because there are so many gifts we already have. And often we forget who we are.
Mm-hmm.
We give our powers away. We dim our own light. And the reason is that we take on certain habits and behaviors and things to mask or fulfill temporarily, and then we resent ourselves. Some of my clients who have come over here is to peel away that and reconnect, to remember who we really are or who they are. So what is the connection that you believe is within real estate, leadership, service, and self-development that you have connected all the dots? I think real estate is a service.
It is. If you're doing it, because you think you're gonna, for all the right reasons, real estate is an active service.
Mm-hmm.
Because the better you are at helping your clients navigate that situation, and the more truthful and congruent you are with your clients, the better it will go. For them and for you. And so how do I connect all of them? I mean, the only thing that I can think of is that the more I work on myself, the more I work on being whole, that's what allows me to do everything. I'm also a daughter, I'm also a sister. And so understanding that I'm only this person, this one person, but a whole person that I can be in all these different roles and act in all these different things, it doesn't get complicated or stressful because I'm whole. And so the more I nurture that wholeness, the better I am at everything else. And that's how I think I bridge everything, is feeding my inner wholeness, or just being me.
So how do you overcome feeling overwhelmed?
I have a schedule. I know it sounds crazy, but I do a schedule every Sunday night. I know exactly what I'm doing and I prioritize. I give myself
Ah.
deadlines, and then I've taught my kids to do this. And so I'm a person of faith that when I write things down, not only do I remember them, but they come true. And so,
You mean like a to-do list?
I do a to-do list, but I also do a schedule, and I follow that schedule. I time block, and so I'm able to, okay, I know I'm going to spend this time with this person. I know I have to do this with that person, and so, and then in between it all, like last night, I didn't get to do some of my emails, but I did them at the end of the night because I knew I had time. So it's just time blocking and understanding and prioritizing.
So that also comes to time management.
Of course, yeah, time management. And I do this with my kids as well. We have an hour between, activities and, even with Carlos, like my husband, I know he's going to be at work all day, but I know that when he gets off, he is going to have to do this part of whatever he needs to do. So I always talk about, and then when I drive my kids to school, we talk about our day and what we're gonna do, and so they already know because I remind them of what they need to do. So yeah, time blocking, schedule, really understanding and focus on my goals because of that.
Okay. So there was this one of the self-growth classes that I took. It was managing the time in 4 quadrants.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's not so much of the time, but it is what you do with your time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So is it goal setting or is it time management? Is it is it something that we have to have a vision where I'm going, just like a train? One of my biggest metaphors with my clients is you are the conductor of the train, and the train may have 2 or 3 compartments. One of the compartments is passengers, and the other compartment are the things that you haul, the things that you need in your life or you have accumulated. And then when we look at it, it's realizing how much do I accumulated and put in that compartment, the second compartment or third compartment, that it's really become a heavy load, or the passengers that have been sitting there that the ticket has expired and they're still occupying that seat. And how have you done a work of feeling lighter and cleansed to see who do I want to surround myself with? And where are we as a household surrounding ourselves, the people we want to be with and what we want to do? Have you done that as the conductor of the train?
Yeah, I do that quite often, actually. Yeah, so for me, it's I don't like negativity, and I don't like being told that I can't do something. So for me, it's aligning myself with people who believe in me, who see the vision, and really support it, and so and who are like-minded. And so there's I do that for my family. Like my house is my temple, and so I really make sure I protect that energy in my house. And sometimes it's difficult with family.
Right.
And the way I treat it is that I accept and I give them grace for where they're at. And you can do this with family members, and especially with the holidays coming, we're forced to sometimes see people that we don't necessarily, would otherwise enjoy because they're family, they're friends. But I really just accept who they are, give them grace, and know that that's not me. And having the confidence to do that will allow you to be in anyone's presence, but know that they can't affect your energy because you won't let them in. And so I have selected friends, and Carlos and I have couples that we go out with, and because we know that we love their energy, and they're just like us. And so my kids have that, and so I always tell my kids that The people that bring you joy is the people that you need to be around with, not the ones that give you a hard time or they're gossiping or, anything like that. And so I try to, really protect that.
Because nowadays with teenagers, the children, and the media of so much negativity, so much expectations. There's so much expectation on children, especially what we see. The other one has the Joneses and everything, the competition within our children. How, as leaders, we can, in your life, not only as acts of service, but guide our children?
I think the biggest guide that you can be for your children is an example. So your kids don't listen to what you say, and I know that for a fact. They listen to what you do, and they see what you do. So, like, I'll give you an example. A couple weeks ago, we did a service for the Habitat for Humanity. They were moving offices, and all we had to do was clean up the warehouse that they were in, because they were literally about to give the keys back to the owner.
Right.
And so we did that, and I took my kids. We got there early, and we picked up trash for almost 3 hours. And they cleaned up the entire warehouse, and they broke down boxes, and they really cleaned it up. And at the end, they said, "Mom, we had a great time. Like, it was nice to do something for somebody else, to be of service." So I think that's the greatest example, is to show your what you want your kids to do is doing it yourself. And so, and this holds true for anything. You could be an example to your coworkers. You can be an example for, your service club. You can be an example for your husband. And so we have a lot more power to inspire than we give ourselves credit.
That's true. I think that's where our book, The Powerful She, and I want to say thank you for being one of the authors in there. You, in the book, your chapter, you shared so much of your upbringing, faith, grandma, and the works that you have done and the roles that you took as a leader, and now being the leader. And you said, "I am so humbled and honored." But one of the things you also shared was, as a child, I had it in me. So if we have gifts, not everyone knows how to develop their gift. And that's why we need the mentors or the self-development or the coaches. How do you see your children's gifts, and how do you allow them to shine? How do they find their gifts? Because I think our children everywhere, they have their own gifts. And instead of boxing them to what we want, how do we allow them to shine?
Well, here, I'll start with how I found my gifts.
Yes.
I
know.
It was
three-pronged question.
And I'll share with you what I see in my kids. So for me, it's rooted in my faith. And I saw it a long time ago as a kid. I always felt different. And for me, it really has been just a reminder. God is always reminding me. The universe is always reminding me of who I am and where I need to go. I don't have to put any effort into it, because I'm always guided. I feel always guided. And that is one of my prayers. Please guide me, take me where you want me to go. And so in that takes so much pressure off me, because I always feel like I'm at the right place because I'm there. And I was guided there for a reason. And so that's how I have found my gifts. Now in my kids, I give them the space to explore what they feel is their gifts. So I nurture their love for, like, for instance, my 16-year-old daughter. She loves to teach dance. And she's been doing it for like almost 2 years now.
And she's so good at it.
And she's great at it. And she loves this compassion she has for the younger kids. and she's so patient with them. She really has that nurturing trait, you know. And then my other daughter, who's 14, she's super passionate about her friends, and she's super loyal to her friends. And I see the love, and I see the personal touches that she does for their birthdays and spending time with them. And so I see her loyalty. And honestly, we need that as adults. I'm learning through that. They are my greatest teachers sometimes. No, not all of them. Sometimes, all the time. Because I see how loyal she is to her friends, and I'm like, I need to be that loyal to my friends, to my community, to everything. And it's just
plus children are mirror.
They are. Yeah. And so I really enjoy watching them and engage in their life. I had a Facebook memory of my daughter, I think 9 years ago. We went to a Christmas dinner at our church, and she literally wrote down, this is my 16-year-old now, and she was a little kid. She, her writing was really bad, but she wrote down, "I love my life because it's beautiful." And it melted my heart. And I'm like, yes, life is beautiful, and it's just the way we see it. We choose to see it.
And I believe through our organization, through Kiwanis, to any of the service clubs or any way we give, is to make one person's life a little bit better and lighter. What do we need? Not what we need. What do you believe children need right now in our community that we can give more of?
I think I think they need the ability to become leaders. We need to give them permission to explore what
leadership.
They want. Yeah, their leadership, because they're our future. And unless we teach it to them at a very young age, they're not gonna know how to develop that leadership. And so leadership programs at school become very, very, very important. And through Kiwanis, we do have a service leadership program.
Yes.
And so I believe teaching the kids to lead and to do service, twofold, to lead and to be of service. I think our world needs more people of service.
Lead, service, and self-development.
Yeah.
Truly, the healing work that we do when I work with the children and we do the sound bowl healing or the meditation and things like that, I know it's no longer a fad. It's become a reality that so many are embracing, not only doing the meditations for themselves, but children. Because in Asia, this is norm, and here we are just implementing it. So coming together in the mind, body, emotion, physical, mental, emotional, professional, personal, when we combine all of that, I think if I were to ask you, what is next? What is the one thing that you would like to share and or create or develop? What's on that line of yours for the next month? For the next month or 1 year, what would that be?
Well, currently I'm very engaged in my Latino community. So developing that the company that I have,
right, and that you just started,
that we just started, and really providing these resources in the Spanish language.
Beautiful.
I think it's going to be really well received because so many of Los Angeles is Spanish speaking, and they need resources in their own language so they can grow their business, grow personally, and so that's what I'm working on. But altogether, I want to have a great year in my Kiwanis Club. So I'm building our SLPs there, our service leadership programs, and really get back to what I would call normal, get back into networking, into being around people, being of service, and really helping people grow. And so I just think all around it's just going to be community. And that's going to be the number one thing.
And I believe you truly are a powerful she.
Thank you. And so are you.
Power, yes, thank you. Power is not the power that we exude, but it's the power that we are.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you very much. I wish you and your family and your community a blessed holidays. And thank you for being part of us. And let us be of service, especially now that the holidays are upon us. Remember, one good deed keeps you fulfilled.
Yeah, and if you're looking to be of service, definitely
join us.
We are a resource for you, because we're deeply rooted in our community, and we can definitely guide you to the right place.
Yes, and by all means, DM me, message me, and be our guest at our club. Come to learn how we can nurture the children, the upcoming children, and be of service to one another.
Yes.
And until next week where we meet, I bid you goodbye. God bless you, and see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Irma.
Oh, you're welcome.
Bye, everyone. And if you like this, share it, subscribe, and go to YouTube, and you'll see the rest of all my podcasts.